Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Straight Talk for Energy Healers. My name is Rainey Aurora. I am an energy healer. I'm the creator of the healing modality called the accelerated release technique. Now, what I do is I work with the subconscious. I help people uncover and release the emotional baggage that keeps them stuck and allow them to move forward into their life, living exactly the way they are meant to and deserve to live. Now, I am also the author of the book, The Energy Healing Bible. Here it is. And finally, I am here on a mission. My mission is to help energy healers like yourselves to be able to live your life's purpose, to be able to share your gifts with the world, to help as many people as you possibly can. And I want you to do that all without being broke. Because let's face it, energy healers do not have the respect and the cachet that they deserve. You work miracles. You do magic. I have seen it. I have witnessed it. And you deserve to be able to do that, to be able to help all those people and at the same time live a comfortable life. Just like the doctors and the other therapists, Western med, all of them. So to that end, my job, what I want to do is I want to bring you all the tools, all the people, the advice, the skills, everything that I can provide you to be able to do just that, to be able to share your gifts. And so today I have with me a special guest. Her name is Safrianna DeGroat. Now, through her own personal healing journey, Safrianna embraced her passion for creating a world where all people can be freely themselves. She has a master's in community mental health and practices as a professional therapist. She recently launched Living Luna, a movement, community, and podcast with her wife, Ikenna. Oh, I hope I got that one right. Living Luna affirms the worth of all people, acknowledging the right for everyone to live life unashamed, full of love and authenticity. And with that, it is my great pleasure to bring on Safrianna. Oh my God, I love your name.
Thank you so much, Radu. I appreciate that. It's so good to be here. Thank you for inviting me on.
It is lovely to have you here. Now, the name of this show is Straight Talk for Energy Healers. So there's not a lot of bump. We just kind of dive right in and just go. So my first question for you is, in a nutshell, how would you describe what it is that you do?
Well, my intro kind of sums it up. I'm a therapist. I'm a spiritual and wellness coach. I run rituals. I'm a multi-passionate person. I'm a Gemini. So, I like to dip my hands in all the cookie jars and kind of try on a lot of different things. But as you mentioned, I recently launched Living Luna, and it's a movement, it's a community, and we exist to help build a future where everyone can live authentically and without shame. So it's just a welcoming space, a welcoming movement, and we make it fun. We've got me doing rituals. My wife Ikenna is very nerdy, so we kind of it's this beautiful conglomerate of nerds and geeks and people who have felt different or weird or othered. We embrace the others. The marginalized and the people that feel misunderstood. So that in a nutshell is what I do.
Yeah, I gotta say, I scoped out your website after you sent me your information. Oh my God, I love it. I love the different people that you speak to, the LGBT community, the polyamorous community, the it was like, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you our topic is embracing authenticity, and you absolutely live that. I think that is just gorgeous, and it just melted my heart. It was so lovely to see.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I do hear that a lot, that we don't have a lot of spaces where we can show up authentically as ourselves, and embracing authenticity has become so difficult for people because society has some rigid standards that we're
Yeah.
expected to exist within. So
Yeah, but
we need to break
the
free from them.
interesting thing is like like authenticity is almost a tagline. It's
Hmm.
like it's something that so many people, it's a phrase so many people throw about, but just your website alone, just you put names to what the things people are hiding and feeling ashamed
Hmm.
about. You actually said,
Right.
nope, you got this. You're welcome. This is you. You're welcome. This is you. You're welcome. And it was like I could see how many people would say that's I'm welcome too. Kind of
Right.
that's it's yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my second question. That wasn't a question. That was just more of a gush for a little while.
I'm
Um,
here for it.
what is your special gift? I call it your superpower that makes you amazing at what you do.
I think my superpower is that I am radically open. I, and that's, why authenticity is my whole shtick. But I
Hmm.
think that there's more to it than that. Like, you have to actually be open to people's authenticity. You can't just claim it. You have to own it. And so that means that my superpower, my embracing that authenticity for everyone, means that I'm embracing people that aren't like me, that aren't,
Hmm.
that don't think exactly the same way as I do. Maybe they don't have the same political views. And compassion is really the underlying superpower there, I feel like. And that's people that work with me hear that word over and over and over again: compassion, self-compassion, compassion for the
Hmm.
other. And really just embodying that, being able to embrace that, because it's hard for so many people. I hear people say, like, how how can you actually stay compassionate towards this group of people? And I'm like, well, because I understand the big picture, and I understand that they're that way because of what they have experienced in life and been through.
Right.
So I bring that compassion to my rituals. I bring it with so much trauma informed care and openness. I bring that with every client that I see. And, I hear that over and over again, that they felt accepted for who they were. Like, I wasn't judging them. And that's
Awesome.
a great feeling.
That is beautiful. Okay, so my audience is energy healers. So
Mhm.
why might they need the service that you offer? And more specifically, why might they want to work with you?
Yeah. So as a therapist, I do work with healers. I work with a lot of other therapists, but of course, working with me as a therapist, you can only do in Maryland. But as a coach and as a priestess and an energy worker, I'm no nonsense. I help my other healers realize that they need to show up for themselves first,
Mhm.
and really look at their time, their energy, their boundaries. Boundaries is huge with me, and I know in the energy healer community, we just want to pour and pour and pour. We want to give all of ourselves,
Mhm.
and that often means that we get stuck in these traps of overgiving. So I call all of that out, and also create opportunities to really work with that. So I'll talk a little bit about my RISE program, or our mental health toolkit, and our rituals. But working with me is knowing that you're going to be seen in all that you are and all that you're experiencing, all of these layers, from the spiritual all the way down to the physical, and
Mhm.
everything in between. So if you're an energy healer and you feel like you've got some holes in your own self-care, your own ability to cope with life, and you're feeling drained, like, you probably want to want to talk to me a little bit about how to put those boundaries up.
Great.
So,
Okay. Now you started to mention and that you have something special for our audience. You want to tell me about it? Tell me about what you've been up to.
yeah. So with Living Luna, we're really trying to create an experience, a community, a safe space, a universe where, again, all the others can be embraced. And so the two big offers that we have right now, and we're kind of constantly developing right now, because, to be perfectly honest, like, I've been a therapist for 5 years. And I was an educator before that. I was a public school educator. And I've been doing the priestess thing since I was like 19. I kind of apprenticed, and
Oh wow.
now I'm in my 30s. So it's been a while. Ugh. And Living Luna is like the conglomerate of that. It's all of these skills as an educator, as a therapist, as a priestess, all of these things kind of coming together. So we have our Rise Mental Health Toolkit, which is a collection of basically my wife and I, both in the therapy world, all of our resources that we're putting together to help promote people's mental health. And for energy healers, especially because you already work with energetics and you kind of know your what your energy centers might look like, you know how your auric field might be impacted by things, but do you look at your mental window of tolerance? Like, do you even know what that is? Do you know what it means to get knocked out of your window of tolerance, right? So anxiety and depression are things that 100% of humans experience. It's not just a disorder that can be diagnosed out of a DSM. It can be a symptom. 100% of humans, anxiety and depression. But we ignore that. So window of tolerance is basically our ability to stay centered and at peace, very important for doing energy work. But when we start to feel a little off center and we start to feel a little anxious, or we start to feel like we're crashing, that's us moving out of our window of tolerance. And I see so often in the spiritual community, oh, let's just, slap a spiritual Band-Aid on there and do some Reiki, and they don't get to the core cause.
Right.
So the Rise Mental Health Toolkit is there to help anyone. It can be parents, it can be energy healers, it can be just an individual, begin to build the foundational skills to be able to observe where they're at in their window of tolerance and really ask the questions about what's getting them there. So that program, like I said, we're going to be throwing so many more bonuses in there of all of the mental health worksheets we make and just infographics and stuff like that. But it does currently have the Rise program, which is an 8-module course all about coping skills and self-care and like what that actually means in a health lens, not just I think self-care is also one of those buzzwords like authenticity, right? So that's our number one offer right now. And then the other thing is I've began to run rituals, again, using all of this experience. And I do have one coming up, and I've set it to free today. So if you happen to see this today and you want to go sign up for that ritual, I made a tiny URL. It's tinyurl.com/Safi. So SAFI, and then the word moon, all one word. So Safi Moon.
Lowercase. You have to be careful.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
With tiny URL, I don't think. I did capitalize Safi and Moon, but I'm pretty sure tiny URL will be friendly.
Well, I don't know. I use Bitly for a lot of stuff, and you have like the case. It's sensitive. So
well, if you want to be safe, capital S, capital M, Safi Moon. But yes, so the one coming up is for the super moon, and we're going to be working on our sacred boundaries. So that is perfect for energy healers. Oh, and my wife just popped the URL in the chat. I don't know if it's in the chat, but it's on my side.
I don't know which chat. We got there's a screening to a whole bunch of places, but
yeah, it's awesome. In a chat somewhere. Hopefully we'll find it and float it around.
This has been broadcast.
Somewhere someone will see it. But yeah, I'm really
anyone who needs to see it's gonna see it. So it's all good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just love ritual, and because of my mental health background, my rituals are a little bit deeper than some might be, because there's reflection involved. There's trauma-informed lens of like, do you want to meditate along with me? Cool. Go for it. But if you don't, grab a sketchbook or a journal, like make this your own experience. And so they're really just these fun containers, but also really deep and meaningful to help people kind of recalibrate where they're at. So looking forward to that. I love running rituals, and I do readings for the collective and the first couple of people that are there hopping on the call live.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good incentive.
So yeah, and like I said, Living Luna is growing. We are definitely in this transformation process. Living Luna itself is really new. It's actually only 3 months old.
Okay.
And like I said, the therapy business has been there for a while. But our podcast, we have 12 episodes now. And the podcast is Living Luna. Website is livinglunas.com. So just add an S to Living Luna. And then my other website is Safrianna.com. So all of that has all kinds of stuff for mental health, for spiritual health, for just opening up to yourself and making sure boundaries are there.
Brilliant.
So that you can be authentic.
Absolutely. Now, I think you just answered my next question, which was going to be how can my audience connect with you if they are looking to? So you gave us a few websites there. Is there an email address or other places they should be looking out for?
The best places to connect with us are Facebook and Discord. I'm not on the Facebook side hardly at all. I'm not a big social media person, but I love Discord. And I love Discord enough that I will gladly teach anyone that wants to like come in and hang out. Dating myself a little bit here too, but if you were a fan of AOL Instant Messenger when you were in like middle or high school, Discord is like a rebirth of that with a lot more cool things. So there's chat rooms, there's direct messages, and lots of fun emojis and GIFs and ways to interact, but it's live. So it's nicer to be able to connect with people immediately versus like Facebook where you kind of have to go through comments. But
I have to chat about that. I don't know nothing about
I love it. It's my zone of comfort, and like I said, I will gladly connect with people. But there's also therapy at Safrianna.com or coach at Safrianna.com are two easy email addresses to reach me at personally. And if you go to the livinglunas.com, you'll see the link for our Discord channel, and we also have a link tree with all kinds of other things on there. So yeah, lots of ways to connect. We like to connect. We're community. Absolutely. I am a community builder.
So many of those things I do believe are in the description. And if you missed it, just rewind and listen to this again.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for being on the show. It was really a pleasure getting to meet you and know what you do. Thank you to my audience. As always, I say this every single week. Your time is literally the most valuable thing you have to offer. So it always means so very much to me that you have taken some of it to spend with us. If you would like to reach me, then you can find me at info@acceleratedreleasetechnique.org, or just poke around the website acceleratedreleasetechnique.org, and you get to know a little bit more about me, what I do, and connect that way. And if you like the show, then please like it, subscribe to the channel, share it, of course, and most importantly, come and visit us again next week. Until then.